Then I did start a new project, which is not socks and is crochet. Good day everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Mariette, also known as the Boervrou, and this is episode 30 of the Crafty Stitches Podcast. Today is the 5th of February 2023, which is Sunday, and I'm coming to you from South Africa. So welcome back. I'm so happy that you are here to join me, to have a little crafty chat. If you are new, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much, and I hope that you will enjoy this little visit with me. I brought some coffee in a new mug. So yes, just needs 2 words and yarn, but yes. Right, so I hope you have something to drink, and let's get straight into this episode. I have a finished project to share with you and a new project that is a crochet project for a change. So let's get started with what I'm wearing, and that is my Larimar Tee that I made with Moya, which is a South African hand-dyed yarn, on their shimmer base, which is a 50% cotton and 50% bamboo blend. Yes, I knitted it on 3.5mm needles, and I will, as always, have my Ravelry Projects page linked down below, where you can just scroll down to find the Larimar if you would like to see what I did also. Right, so let's get to my finished project and let me show you what that is. So I have finished my cowl. It is not blocked yet, but I did weave in the ends and left all of the ends attached so that I can snip them off when the shawl is blocked. In my previous episode, I was at this point where I put that little stitch marker in, which is a stitch marker from Annegret from Pincushion Crafts. I hope you can see that. And as I said, the cowl is finished. Very, very happy with how it came out. It is shaped to be bigger at the bottom than at the top, so it will be looking like that. I am really, really in love with how this one came out. It is gorgeous. I used 3.5mm needles for the body, 3mm needles for the ribbing. I used a 142 or 143 grams of yarn for this project. It is knit with a fingering weight yarn, and it is the Kaleidoscope singles, 100% merino superwash, and it has 360 meters on 100 grams, and the colorway name is Hot Date. I really, really enjoyed this project with this beautiful red and maroon color changes. It is beautiful. I really, really love it. I can see that there's a little bit of pooling If I look on the camera, I can see pooling, but it doesn't bother me at all. I'm really in love how it came out. I did alternate yarns, but as you can see, where it got bigger, the circumference got bigger, there is a bit of pooling going on, but I don't mind it at all. If I look at it in real life, I don't really see the pooling that much. So anyway, and I mean, I'm gonna wear it like this, so not really gonna see it. I'm in love. I'm really happy that I made this beautiful fingering weight cowl. So if you are new, this is the fingering weight version of the shaped cowl that I have been making and adapting over the last 2-3 years. So this is my DK version that I made with our pure gold in the past, and I decided that I would like to make a fingering weight version, and that is what this is. Alright, should I say anything else? No, I think that is everything. So I'm going to wash and block this one. I am going to pin out the bottom ribbing a little bit while blocking to get it to relax a little bit more, because I don't want it to cinch in quite as much, but I'm definitely not pinning the top one, so that it can be nice and stretchy as it is here. Okay, so that's my cowl. Very happy, very nice, so happy that it is done. Gorgeous project. It was very fun to knit. I really enjoyed it. Alright, so that is my finished project, and let's move on to my works in progress of all of the projects that I'm working on at the moment. Right, so my first work in progress is my candy cane socks by the Crazy Sock Lady, which I am making in mostly Knotty Habit Kaiso yarns, apart from one. The Knotty Habit Kaiso base is a 75% superwash merino wool and a 25% nylon blend. It is a 3-ply fingering weight with 366 meters on 100 grams. And then the one and only yarn that I'm using that is not Knotty Habit is this beautiful green teal color, and it is from Cowl Blues on a proper sock in the colorway Guinea Fowl. And as far as I know, it's also 366 meters on 100 grams. So this is the sock. To be honest, cannot remember where I was in the previous episode. I think I was just about halfway on the leg. I just started the this sand section. I did remove the marker because I washed and blocked the sock before continuing to make sure that it fits, which it didn't. That's why it's not finished yet. But anyway, so these are the colors that I'm using for the sock. Hope you can more or less see that. So I was very hopeful that the sock will fit me, because in the previous episode when I was halfway through the leg, it just went over my heel. But with the rest of the leg worked, there's no way I can get it over my heel. So I thought, alright, let me just wash and block it first and see if that maybe helps, but unfortunately it didn't. I did measure my gauge on the color work part. Let me start from the beginning. So I'm knitting the sock on 2.25 millimeter needles for the stocking stitch part, and for the color work part I'm using a 2.5 millimeter needle. So I am doing the color work part on magic loop, which is a little bit difficult around the corners, but I am I did change to work the sock inside out, and that helped a lot to manage the floats and to have it to be smooth enough so that there's no ridge at the back where I join, on the sides actually, where I would have my magic loop part. It's nice and smooth. But anyway, so I did measure the gauge. So the gauge of the stocking stitch part and the stitch gauge of the colorwork part is exactly the same. So, which means that for the way that I knit, I have to go up to a 2.5 millimeter needle for my colorwork. But as I said, it does not fit over my heel. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to rip out the entire sock. I really want to make these socks. So what I will do is I'm going to frog the leg back to the heel, and then I'm going to put my 2.25 millimeter needles back, and I'm going to do a increase round around the leg and go up with the 8 stitches for the next size up in the pattern, and then I will re-knit the leg. To be fair, I'm only going to re-knit the leg about halfway again and make sure that it is nice and loose, because if it's still tight fitting like this, then that will not work. Then I will have to make another plan. But I'm going to stay on the 2.5 millimeter for the color work, because in my mind, if the gauge is the same as this, then that is not the problem, I think. I don't know anything about color work, but that is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go up one size for the leg part, which will give me 8 more stitches, which will be 2, 4, let's see, which will be about that much. I don't know how much is that. Let's see. Eight stitches will give me 2. It will give me just more than 2 centimeters more in the circumference of the leg. So maybe that will help. So yes, that is the long and the short story of these socks. So I am really thinking of leaving the socks a little bit until I have a 2.5 millimeter 9-inch circular, so that it is a little bit more enjoyable to knit for me. We shall see. But that is my plan for the socks. I'm not giving up. I'm just putting it on hold for a little bit, and I was just thinking about what I want to do next. So my plan is going up a size for the leg. I know that Adela from the Yarn Creations podcast, she once mentioned that she always or mostly knit her legs with more stitches than the feet, if I remember correctly. So I'm gonna try that for color work. So then I will know in future if I do stranded color work around the leg of a sock to go up a few stitches. So I will keep you updated on what happens with that as soon as I start that project again. Alright, my second work in progress. Very exciting. It has grown a lot. In the previous episode, I just had like this much of the back panel done. So this is the Riika top, I think. In my previous episode, I just had this little piece of the back panel done until where the stitch marker is, which is also a stitch marker from Annegret from Pincushion Crafts. So in the meantime, I finished the back panel to a certain length. I did the 2 front sides and joined in the round. Now I do know that this looks very odd and very small, but it is 3x3 ribbing, so it stretches quite nicely. Yes, I'm really enjoying this knit. I don't know if I'm the neatest 3x3 ribbing knitter, but never mind. Let me see. Okay, so this project is knit with L Cotton's 4-ply, which is 100% cotton, and it has 156 meters on a 50-gram ball. And this is the colorway Lilac, and I repurposed this yarn from the waving lace that I frogged, hence all the yarns coming from this project. And then I am alternating yarns as well. So yeah, it didn't work that well for the... I was battling a little bit with the alternating for some reason, some way, and then I stopped. I think it was on the front panel, so I knit with one strand until I could join the 2 panels together, and then I started alternating again. But anyway, so I am knitting this on a 3mm needle, which is a US 2.5 size. Yeah, 3mm. I do think that the armhole opening is a little bit low, but I'm not stressing about that at the moment, because I am making this garment as per the pattern as much as I can. I did adapt it a little bit with, I think I made 1 or 2 increases less, because I thought that it is a little bit low and I didn't want to go any lower. But because it is ribbing, I know that when it stretches out, I will lose a little bit of that length, number one. And I decided that if the holes, the openings is too big, I can always wear a top underneath. And if it's really too big and I cannot stand it, I do have a plan. So if that is the case, I will share that in the future with you. But I'm not discouraged at all. I'm really enjoying this one, and I'm really looking forward to having a little bit more of the body so that I can actually properly fit it and see what it looks like. You do have to pick up a ribbing, neckband ribbing, and in the armholes. So I'm first going to do that and see how I like it. But I'm very excited. I'm really enjoying this ribbing a lot. I thought that the ribbing will be very boring, but I'm actually enjoying it. It's very, very, very nice knit. And I think it's going to wear very nicely. So yes, that is my second work in progress. And I worked on it quite a bit. I'm really happy. Let me just move this marker before I forget. Let's put it on the front. I might somewhere along the line, when I think it's long enough, I might put it on barber cords and wash and block it before I cast it off or bind it off, to make sure that the length is right. We shall see when I get to that. So I think this might be my next focus project. but I'm really enjoying this knit a lot. Very happy that I selected this pattern. Alright, so that is my second whip. Then I did start a new project, which is not socks and is crochet for a change. Alright, so it's a very, very small project. I just started it today, this morning, to be honest. This is the pattern is just called Embers. It is a shawl, and I got the pattern from Expression Fiber Arts. I am using Miss Lamotte 100% superwash merino wool in her single space, which has 360 meters on 100 grams, and this colorway that I'm using is called Midnight. So it is a beautiful purpley blue. I don't know how that will come out on screen, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous colorway. I've put it in one of my yarn cake cozies. This is one of the first ones that I made with some acrylic yarns when I was still working on the pattern. But anyway, so this is my teeny tiny baby shawl. As I said, I started it this morning, so there's not much to see yet. No, if it'll focus. I don't know. It is a crescent shaped shawl, and yeah, I haven't done a big crochet project in a while, so I was thinking, actually when I saw this on Instagram, I thought, wow, I would love to make that. So when I was thinking what is my next project, I thought, let me do this, because I want to explore more with shawl shapes and see what I like to wear most. At this moment I wear my shawls a little bit more like scarves draped around my neck than just a thing draped around my shoulders. So we shall see how this one does. But I'm actually really enjoying this pattern at the moment. I am using a 4mm clover hook for this project. And yes, really enjoying this one. This is a stitch marker from Annegret from Pincushion Crafts, little birdie that I could not resist. So cute. So I'm just keeping the stitches secure there, but I should use a little light bulb marker for that job, so that I can use this stitch marker to keep my progress. So let's see. I wonder which side I am now on, back or front. Doesn't really matter, I guess. So I will just pop it on there so that we can keep track of my progress on this little shawl. Alright, what else can I say? So this pattern actually calls for a wool and linen blend, and color A, which is this color, calls for 357 meters, and this yarn has 360 meters on it. So I decided it's a shawl, I'm not doing a gauge swatch, so I just jumped straight in, and I hope that will make it. Otherwise one of the rows of color 1 would become color B. Anyway, I think that is all of the projects that I have to share with you today. I have been working on a new design, sock design, behind the scenes, so that is also taking up a little bit of time, but yes, I will share that with you soon. I think that is everything project wise that I can share with you today. So let's move on to the next segment of the podcast and let's find out what's been happening. My video last week was a little weekend vlog that I made from the 21st of January and the 22nd of January. I will link it down below for you if you missed that and if you are interested, where I did a little bit of knitting. My friend came over, we did a recording, and I share a pizza recipe in this vlog of how I make our basic pizzas that we love to eat. So that is that video. And then, as I mentioned, my friend Leonie of Independence Yarn Crafts and I recorded the Scrappy Sunday chat video for episode 11 that came out last Sunday, the last Sunday of January. And I will also link that down below if you missed that and if you would like to catch up on our Scrappy projects. Because we don't show our Scrappy projects in our normal podcast episodes, and we are both working on the Battenberg blanket from Sandra Paul. I am knitting my version, and if you're interested in seeing all of those things, you are more than welcome to hop over to the Scrappy Sunday chat, episode 11. I will link that for you. Alright, and as I mentioned, I am working on a new sock design, which I'm very excited about. All I can say, it is all over texture around the leg and on top of the foot, so that is all I'm saying. You will just have to wait and see what it looks like. It is coming very soon. Alright, then it is time for my podcast recommendations for this episode. My first podcast recommendation for this episode is Twin Stitches Designs. This is Julie from Canada, and she has a Patreon account. She does podcasts, she does vlogs, very interesting content. Last year I loved to follow on her box of socks journey that she decided she's going to make a box of socks for herself and a box of socks for her husband. And I really enjoyed that series and seeing how she did and how many socks she cranked out and added heels, toes and cuffs. It was very interesting. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And then my second podcast recommendation for this episode is a new one and a new to me one. I've only watched one of her episodes and I think she only has 4 videos up at the moment. It is Lenny from, I think she's from Germany. I think so, I'm not exactly sure. I might be wrong. But anyway, she started knitting late in 2022 and I had a look on her Instagram account. It is brand spanking new. I think she's got 5 or 6 posts on there. So I really enjoyed watching the episode. She made 2 very cute alpacas, and in this episode that I just watched, I think it's the latest one, she made the cutest little cow. So cute. You can really go over and have a look. It is really cute. Alright, I think that is everything that I have for this episode. I feel that it might be a short one, but I might be wrong. So we shall see when I start editing. I don't really have much more to share with you for this episode. Life has been busy as it usually is. I cannot believe that we are already in February. and it is already the 5th of the month. And I mean, February is a shorter month, so it feels to me that we are just flying through this year before it even started. I don't know. It is crazy. Time just flies past, and yeah, I don't know where the days go to. But anyway, so that is all that I have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below and tell me what you are working on, and I love to chat with you in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my content. And I will see you in the next one. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.